Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Holy hell. Wake me up, dear coffee gods. Hello, you desperate, uncooked, filthy, perhaps caffeinated hot dogs. That's right, this is another episode of Coffee and Contemplation. I happen to be your host, Old Heart, aka Jared, aka, whatever. You can find me here, sitting down, recording podcasts at Old Heart Radio, which is on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Whatever. iHeartRadio, just like, the only reason, I gotta be honest, folks, the only reason we're on there is because it's like a very popular podcast destination. But it's so campy. It's so campy. iHeartRadio looks so fucking campy. It's for children. All right? Be an adult, hop on Spotify. They don't pay me. Yeah, so I'm drinking a cup of coffee, fine cup of coffee from Batdorf and Bronson. They roast in Olympia, Washington, and in Atlanta. They're also distributing in there. Order their coffee online, man. It's fucking fantastic. Today is the last podcast of the month of April. I want to say, excuse me, by the way. I want to say a quick shout out to that. To you hot dogs out here, we did a record-breaking month of listens, at least for Old Heart Radio. I've used up all of the actual memory space that I pay for to post podcasts online, which is choice, marinara, because that means it was worth it. I used up all the space. I did not waste any of that virtual space. So congratulations to me, congratulations to you, congratulations to all the creators at Old Heart Radio, and all you hot dogs listening. Things keep growing. I'm proud of us. But today we're actually talking about UFOs. That's right. One of my all-time favorite subjects. Why? Because I'm a conspiracy theorist nut. Not nut. I'm not like Alex Jones out there. I guess I can't even compare. I just like conspiracy theories. I do believe that there's aliens out there. Extraterrestrial life has to exist in this expanse of bullshit that we call space. Anyway, so I found an IFL Science article titled "The Pentagon has officially released 3 UFO videos," and it is very true. The Pentagon has finally officially declassified and released 3 videos of what they call unidentified aerial phenomena. And I love that they're steering clear. All government officials and like entities or whatever, they steer clear now of the term UFO. Because UFO has become so common and so associated with aliens. That the government's like, no. We do not want to be associated with UFOs. This is an unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP, if you will. Anyway, so some of this footage caught a bunch of popularity and notice last year when they first were talked about, and that was actually in part due to, of all people, Tom DeLonge's research, quote-unquote, research group that he's doing instead of chilling with Blink-182 still. But it's just interesting because there's these videos are really great. I recommend you watch them. I'll post the link in the description for the podcast. But the videos are really interesting because they give you, at the beginning, a little breakdown of what is on the screen, which is nice. So you kind of, as a viewer, with, at least from my perspective, I've never sat in a fucking cockpit of a jet, of an F-18. And so, they give you like this little breakdown of what's actually happening on the screen, and then you kind of like, and then you really start seeing like the actual footage, and holy shit. Like, in one of the videos, there is this distinct entity that they, I think, say was about 40 feet long, potentially. And it was moving at just such a pace. Like, the camera was having a hard time keeping up with it. And it was just consistently going. And I don't know. I know a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm like a expert by any means, but I have a little knowledge of how jet planes fly. And like watching that footage, I was just like, that cable, those maneuvers, the movements were just like insane. I would love to be able to talk to somebody who like has a little experience flying an airplane, maybe, and like ask them about that. That shit's insane. Joe Rogan did a podcast with a guy that was in the cockpit, one of the commanders in the cockpit a while ago. You'd have to listen to it. It's a really interesting and intense conversation. But shit, shout-outs to all you hot dogs listening out there. You're boiled and uncooked and probably delicious. Shouts to Batdoor from Bronson Coffee. Shoutouts to my co-hosts Lucas and Avi. Shoutouts to Brandon Silva did a podcast a little bit back. And shoutouts to all my homies Mojo, Jojo, Livy, Jamie, Mariah, Casey. Y'all fucking great. Mariah and Casey, super fans. Anyway, yeah, like it's interesting that the government took this opportunity in the middle of a pandemic to declassify and put these videos up, and let them be released at least. And I mean, and this is because in the middle of all this shit going on right now with that COVID Cyrus, aka COVID-19, aka fuck or whatever, and like the whirlwind of the Trump administration and all this bullshit. Like, nobody is paying attention to the fact that the government just put up 3 videos about UFOs. 3 videos with footage of unidentified flying objects. It's fucking insane. And mind-blowing. So I suggest you watch them. I'll post the link. But it sparked me. I wanted to look up, how many, since the beginning of the year, at least, perhaps, how many, how much footage or how many reports have there been about UFOs. And I found a website called grayareanews.com, and they have an article up here that chronicles the count of January 2020. I don't know if there's been an official count for the subsequent months, mainly because after that the world really started kind of like diving into the COVID-19. So the numbers for just the month of January, the first month of this year, 2020, kind of stack up. You have like small numbers ranging from like 3 to 51. There were only 3 sightings in Alaska in January, but there were 51 sightings in Florida. And that just might be because Florida's fucking crazy, but you never know. Maybe Florida ate some bath salts and they thought they saw some UFOs, but we don't really fucking know. North Carolina 13. Let's see, New York at 24. How many in Washington here? 20 UFO sightings in Washington State in January of 2020 alone. That shit's fucking crazy. I'm telling you, like, it's such a common, for such an uncommon experience, I'd say it's a common experience, if that makes sense. Or at least too much so, too common to just ignore. Like, there's too many fucking random people who are reporting these things to call them all crazy. And especially when you have footage like this, the government's been camping on, and they have information dating back to probably at least the 1940s. About perhaps potential extraterrestrial life or unidentified flying objects, and we've been experiencing reports from thousands of Americans over this period of time, from at least the 1940s to now. Like, you can't deny it, man. if we had any like just fucking decency, we'd look into this shit. Because it's interesting, man, and it directly affects the entire fucking planet. If there are alien life forms out there, if there are alien life forms coming here and visiting us and just monitoring us and gauging the progression of the human being, the Homo sapien. Although we're they wouldn't be calling us either of those things. They'd be calling us, whatever in their language. But no, seriously though, I feel like, and that's kind of the thing. I feel like if there are aliens and UFOs, I'm not gonna say it. Those aliens and UFOs, if they are, I am gonna say it. If they're coming down here, that's exactly what they seem to be doing. They seem to be just kind of looking at us. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Again, shouts to Batdorf and Bronson. You can find them on Instagram at batdorf.coffee. There you go. But they're coming down, they're looking at us, and they're just wondering what the fuck we're doing. They're probably watching us destroy this planet and wondering how long it'll take us to completely. Maybe that's the experiment. They're experimenting, watching this species destroy its planet. Maybe seeing how long it takes this one species to corrupt this planet. I don't know. That's pretty morbid. Either way, whatever. I think it's hard to deny. And you can call everybody who's seen a UFO or reported a story a kook. You can find an explanation in just about anything if you really want to. You can explain away so much shit, I guess is what I mean, and without giving it justice. And I'm one of those people, I do that all the time in everyday life. I'll just be no, there's got to be a rational reason why this person said that. Maybe sometimes they're just not. Maybe sometimes there is a fucking UFO out there. I'll concede on the Loch Ness Monster. But aliens? I believe, man. All this being said, I wanted to also plug, get on Instagram at Old Heart and follow us at Old Heart Radio. Interact with us on there. We're always looking for topic suggestions from people that are listening, or just, telling us that we suck, whatever. Follow us on Twitter at Old Heart in Space. And yeah, thanks for listening always. You guys are fucking great. Go out there and use your brains for good, because every day is a good day to ripen up that coconut. This is the last podcast of April, aside from the C-Rap I'm going to post with this, because you can't have coffee and contemplation without a good C-Rap at the end, Get it? Coffee, then crap. Coffee makes it shit, people. All right. Like I said, ripen up that coconut as best you can. Keep the stick on the ice.